Well guys, the time has finally come. It is the last trip of our Dune season, so we better make it count. Although I don't want it to end, I'm really happy we finally got some warm weather. This trip was full of some great duning, relaxing, and we even broke some stuff in the meantime. So after buying $300 of groceries for a 2-day trip, so stupid, and then topping off our race gas at the always hard to swallow price of $10 a gallon, Anna and I hit the road Friday night. We weren't able to get out there super early like the rest of our crew, but we'll take what we can get. We chased the sunset on the way there and pulled in just after dark. We got everything unloaded, prepped the buggy, and joined the rest of the group around the fire. The weather was nice and we were eager to hit those dunes in the morning. Saturday morning, I was a little nervous about how windy the day was starting out. Looking at those flags, you could see we woke up to a rather strong morning breeze. Other than that, the day was shaping up to be gorgeous. The sun was out, there was hardly any clouds in the sky, and the temperature was nice and cool. We could tell it would be getting warm soon though, so we discussed getting that morning dune ride in before we missed our opportunity. It's never a good idea to ride the dunes when the sun is directly overhead. Got the car warming up. I think we are gonna go for a little dune run. Got the cold start low. The morning ride pretty much had no warm up. We got right into it and hammered down. Although as soon as I got into these little dunes, I found out how loose the sand was. I could immediately tell there was like a layer of blow sand on top that made the car slide super easy, so I was extra careful and kept that in mind on the ride. Alright, that was a good run. The freaking sand is smooth as hell right now. Yeah, it was like slippery out there. Freaking like ice. So we're gonna hang out here for a bit and then head back to camp and swing by Vendor Row because Anna forgot her hat. And we got quite the crew this weekend. And we still don't have everybody. Not bad. Nice weather. The wind finally calmed down. And it's starting to warm up, so it's gonna be good. Leaving the North Pole, we had a nice dune run on the way back towards Vendor Row. Man, those dunes were just in such good shape. We got to Vendor Row, and Roadrunner Power Sports was the only vendor out there that weekend. Although they didn't have a giant sun hat like Anna wanted, they hooked us up with some free chapstick, so we were very thankful for that. They have a ton of stuff though, and usually always have just about everything Duners need out there. Back at camp, time to relax, and look who's the master of that.
Vacation all the time.
Yeah, sun's coming out now. It's getting warm. Well, I guess the sun was out earlier, but the wind's gone, more importantly. Yeah, time to chill, relax, and finally enjoy some warm weather.
I'll just go ahead and put that beer there.
What are we working on over here, Lou?
It's nut came loose for the axle.
Off again. It's pretty common.
Did you find a cutter?
No, bricks.
Yeah, that's probably back in it. It's probably.
So, what are you gonna do with the orange?
Oh yeah, that one's probably about 400. We're good with that.
What I put it on before. Remember?
What was that set at?
Yeah, we used a breaker bar and.
What was that?
250.
250.
Put them on. Oh yeah.
Now that Lou got his buggy maintenance out of the way,
Screws fall out all the time. The world's an imperfect place.
we spent a couple more hours just hanging out in camp, talking crap, and relaxing in the shade. It was pretty empty out there for Easter weekend, although everyone seemed to want to camp on the north end. I don't know what was up with that. It worked out well for us though, because we really didn't have any neighbors. It was pretty nice. Alright, that is enough relaxing. Let's go for a dune run. This wouldn't be our sunset ride for the day since it was only like 3 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun wouldn't set till after 7, so this was more of a midday ride. Behind me in the black and silver Extreme car is Theron, and then behind him in the blue Desert Dynamics is Lou's daughter Lindsay. The dunes were in prime condition, the weather was nice, and the cloud cover was just enough to knock down the brightness of the sun a little bit. This was shaping up to be a really good ride. But right when it was flowing so good, Theron lost his brakes and peeled off. He had some sort of issue. We turned back to see what the problem was, and it turns out his right rear wheel was ready to fall off.
Oh, fuck.
I broke his stick axle.
How was your stick out?
I was playing it.
Well,
I'll just limp it
That
back.
was fun for 4 minutes.
can't lift the stub axle. I got this far with it.
Broke a stub axle.
Yeah.
Because when I went up that hill, I had no brakes. That's why I got stuck.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I had to roll down, and I was like, dude, there's no brakes.
I mean, do you have a setup? You have
Yeah, I think I do.
a whole setup? Yeah. I do. Take a picture of it. Well,
Well, you guys go run. I just need somebody to get you back.
we're getting
No, you guys go back.
No,
I'll
go back with
dude.
you.
We'll get you back. We'll go for a ride again in a bit.
You don't need
We got a little bit of time yet.
Theron, being the nice guy he is, told us to go ahead and finish our run, but that wasn't going to happen. We all came up with a plan to get some parts and try to get it fixed out there in the dunes.
Hey, get beer and water.
There's beer in my cooler.
Just
Well,
let them
she's
get
saying
more.
more, okay?
Just let them get more.
There's like 6 in there.
You're gonna need more than that. That's only one round.
So Gary and Theron went back to get parts, and he left his mechanics behind to get to work. So we're tearing it apart right now. Initially, everyone thought he broke a stub axle, but it ended up being the hub bearing that failed. Yeah, that stub axle can't be broke.
I don't think it's a stub axle.
It's the bearings are wasted.
It's a bearing or a carrier?
Stub axle, he couldn't drive.
Gary and Theron arrived with all new parts for the repair, but after we got everything back together, it turns out Theron's stub axle uses a slightly different size bolt, so we ended up having to tow it back anyways. At least it had a new hub bearing and the wheel wasn't going to fall off. Ah yes, the toe of shame. If you've spent any time in the dunes, you know what I'm talking about. Nothing gets Theron down though. He still had a good attitude. Gary got him towed back to camp without any problems, and then Theron jumped in with Craig for our sunset ride. We'd somewhat be taking it easy on this one, mostly because we'd have the drone following us. It was a fun, relaxing ride though, and the perfect cap on the day. that's going to do it for this trip and for the entire season. Dune season always seems to go by so fast. No matter how many trips we seem to cram in, it's still just never enough. This season I did manage to squeeze in 6 Dumont trips plus a trip to Glamis, so that's a damn good season in my book. Lots of great memories were made, and we will be back here in October to do it all over again. But before that, I'm already looking forward to our trip back to St. Anthony Dunes this summer. So, if you're wondering, what now, Pete? What the heck do you do when you're not at the dunes? Well, first off, it's definitely time to hit the lake with the boat. But in the summertime, we hit the road in our Sprinter van and we head to the mountains. It's time to ride some new single track and go off the grid to explore some cool new places and find some hidden gems. I'm always going on a new adventure or doing something ridiculous to share on the channel, so make sure you're subscribed and don't miss anything new. And thank you all for watching. I will see you on the next video.
Give me the beans! Give me the onion! Yep.
Now you're on the tire. Go right. Back it up. You're way off. You gotta go 3 inches to the right. Put off the brake. Oh, let me put my beer down.
Hold my beer.
Cindy, can you hold that? You actually do have a beer. There goes I'm dead serious. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There never breaks. Hey, I just want to thank Jeff for stopping and helping. You rock, bro. Shout out to Jeff. Yeah. Thanks, Jeff. Fucker. Oh, yeah. All right, back to the fire.